Hey guys, so previously on my video, so this is going to be part 6.2. Now, like I mentioned before, Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce has been doing something that I think a lot of people should take note of. For one, two of them are going on tour and they have been on tour for a while now. So it's easier now for me to talk about what has been going on. I mentioned this before in my previous video on part 6 of my Beyonce experience, that to decode what Beyonce has been doing, we also must look at the outfits of each of the acts that she kind of predicts what was going to happen. So with Act 1, we saw the chrome look silver for Renaissance. Cowboy Carter had this cowboy look with the belt buckle, and I also wanted to mention that the Verizon commercial in a weird way teased Act 3 as well, which is the red bodysuit chrome, which is, I would say, the Scarlet cover, which will be Act 3. Now also Kendrick also had this propaganda being played at the same time at the Super Bowl what he held this year. And when he mentioned that, this is a cultural divide, but at the same time, you picked the wrong time for the wrong guy, indicating that he's sending out a message. When Samuel Jackson was playing like the good old Uncle Sam, and how he was referencing like, you're too loud, you're too reckless, we need peace, quiet, like indicating like Uncle Sam was the conductor of the orchestra of the Super Bowl that Kendrick Lamar was doing. I could see how this fits into even the Beyonce Bowl first, and then the opening act for almost like Beyonce did the opening act for Kendrick in a way for his Super Bowl, because they both had this America kind of theme where it's like they're playing X's and O's and triangles, and Beyonce used similarly with this patriotic look for her country, Cowboy Carter. Flash forward to a couple of now months, Beyonce and Kendrick are on tour, and I'm gonna explain how Lady Gaga falls into this also. When both of them started, I think Kendrick kicked off his tour first before Beyonce, because Beyonce did an announcement. The announcement was basically kind of got pushed back due to the LA fire, and then boom, Beyonce and Kendrick are going head to head in a weird way on tour. Kendrick kicked off his tour with SZA, and then following after, Beyonce also now kicked off her tour following some special guests such as her daughter and her daughters, I would say, and then the late twins who are now recently at the London leg of Cowboy Carter. Now, what this makes me even more surprised is that I've been saying this, and it's hard for me to not preach about this. This specific character Beyonce is playing, the one with the locks and the bleached blonde eyebrows, is one of many different characteristics of Beyonce characters that she has created for Cowboy Carter. And I even speculate that the Verizon commercial also hint that Beyonce is also going super AI with the whole dramatic robotic avatar that she's been putting out for not only the Renaissance but also Cowboy Carter. It almost like they're mirroring each other, right? And going back to the Black Betty tour, she just did something in the London leg tour, which we will talk about in part 7 of the Beyonce experience, but I'm gonna keep it to part 6.2 right now. Going back to this, there is a character within the Beyonce list that she has done. It reminds me of Uncle Sam, but almost as if like she's saying that she is the impersonation of Mrs. Sam, and she is propaganda. She is the problem. Just like the song between her saying America has a problem, I feel as if when she released the full visuals for Cowboy Carter or even the Renaissance, I feel as if just like when Childish Gambino did This Is America, which it caused so much mayhem and like triggered a lot of real events that has been happening in our system, is similar to what Beyonce did, even in a portion of Cowboy Carter. I've been saying this, that Little Richard, Tina Turner, Chuck Berry, all of these act legends were a reference of the Cowboy Carter experience. And she's been, her uniforms as well as the interlude visuals has been basically clues of what Act 3 is gonna be. And like I mentioned again, the mysterious fourth act. The scene of propaganda and the minstrel show that she has incorporated into the interludes, she's now reversing that. She's like reversing that. She's having blue eyes. This is one of the characters. This character has a, it seems like that's like one of the ringleaders of this movement, like the collection that she has been putting together. And this character alone has created echoes throughout the different acts, because there's a scene that's very powerful where Beyonce is sitting down with the Chardonnay, the horse. She is turning on the TV and she's basically saying that she is propaganda, or she's looking at the news, and the news have different artists of legendary status on the TV. And Beyonce, that bleached blonde hair character, is the one that's like turning the TV. And it feels like there's like the fourth wall. Like she's almost getting ready to like break the fourth wall. And it's like she's saying like she's stuck in this room. She cannot be contained. You have country music going crazy because of what's going on. They're complaining that what has happened to country music. Like I said, there's so much. And then she flashed propaganda. And then she kept going, like with the montage of insults. And she is like going crazy. And then you see how Beyonce is saying like, you know, democracy, money, more money, conform to like the standard. She's saying that this is how conform looks. Like you have to have bleach hair, blue eyes. Like she's really saying this throughout the whole tour. And like you don't need to conform into this European standard. And that is insane to me, that I pick a lot of things up. And then flash forward to the different monuments that she is representing. Like I now dial back to what I said before, how one, the Beyonce exclusive vinyl cover is literally the representation of the Statue of Liberty, whereas the Cowboy Carter cover itself, the official one, is like a Confederate leader, and it's almost like she's taking over a lot of things over. I referenced that before, how the horse kept going forward, whereas Beyonce and the flag is like the wind of history is dragging the horse backwards. And this character is out of the 42 different characters that she has now impersonate. She is channeling the inner Statue of Liberty version of herself. She is liberty. She's deliberately saying that she is freedom. She's able to free genres from captivity of confinement, due to the fact that she even referenced that even when she gave the speech at the Grammys, which I can't wait to cover. A part of the historic part of Cowboy Carter starts off in the Grammys when I kick off the podcast. But like I said, this is a very deliberate idea of what makes country special to her, and that music gun is almost like a shot to different genres. She's a outlaw to get the other genres. And let me tell you this also. So Lady Gaga comes in right after I mentioned that Kendrick is also doing something. Lady Gaga, Kendrick, even Stevie Nicks, I feel as if they're gonna be very pivotal going into Act 3, because after Lady Gaga did the whole telephone thing with his roughly 15 years ago, I feel as if when they officially kick off part 2, which Beyonce also in a way is agreeing that she is gonna be continued telephone, the way they're gonna meet, I think, is gonna be within the rock era, but I think she's teasing it now because I think by next year she will release the third act, which will continue the break tour and then release music. And then she also teased the third act look when she won the iHeartRadio Innovation Award. This was not a country look. This was a rock and roll look. And now that I see this, I could now connect that to the Michael Jackson look that I was referencing. This reminds me of Bad. Like, this is a different type of character. And I think this color of her hair is almost as if she's changing that color to black. And also, if you look at the different scenes that I've been referencing before, how Renaissance was considered the reflection period. Now, since Cowboy Carter was supposed to be Act 1, you could see how Amen flows into Renaissance. And Renaissance ending could be the next start, which is Summer Renaissance could kick off the Revolution, which is kicks off My House. My House is the bridge between Act 2 and Act 3. And Act 2 is actually Renaissance. And Echoville, which is the visuals slash fourth album, or the fourth creation, which could be the 10th studio album for Beyonce. And this will say that 2026 and 2027 will be release album, as well as touring will be in 2027. So this will be the closing of part 6.2. We will be taking a small break to focus on the monthly updates of my channel, as well as some more announcement coming with the season 3 of my podcast. So you will get all these announcements after this video. Thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Be safe. Love you all.